Hello and welcome to another complete Cambridge IGCSE PE lesson, the fifth topic in Chapter 10, Media. As always, we'll cover absolutely everything you need to know for your exam, and today you need to be able to explain how the media function in sport, identify the different types of media coverage, and describe the advantages and disadvantages of media coverage of sport. The media coverage of sport has increased significantly over the years. With the invention of television in the mid-20th century and the more recent introduction of the internet and smartphones, the media now exerts a greater influence on sport than it ever has before. Media can be defined as the means of communicating information to an audience and has four main roles within society. These are to inform or provide news that tells people what's currently happening in sport, to educate or provide knowledge to the audience through statistics and analysis of events, to entertain by offering high quality coverage that people can enjoy during their leisure time, and to advertise the sport, products and athletes, which helps to bring money into the sport for development. We'll move on now to take a look at the different forms of media coverage and the services they provide. Firstly, we have print media, which includes newspapers and magazines. Daily or weekly papers contain sections for general sports news, while some publications focus on a single sport which is covered in far greater depth. Magazines, by comparison, tend to be less news-orientated, but offer a different insight into sport through the inclusion of in-depth interviews and articles. Next up we have radio, which provides live coverage of a range of sports events and can be listened to on the move. Radio stations such as BBC Radio 5 Live are dedicated solely to sport and allow the audience to interact through phone-ins and interviews. Television also provides live coverage, and major events such as the Olympics or Football World Cup are generally free to view thanks to government intervention or ring fencing. Pay-per-view and subscription channels can be costly for the audience, however, but the injection of funds from these services has helped to improve the quality of broadcasting. The internet combines the best of both print and broadcast media, as it allows us to access live coverage, news articles, statistics and results. It also provides information about upcoming events and can be used to purchase tickets. Finally, social media gives fans the opportunity to connect with their idols and share their own views via apps like Twitter and Facebook. Now that we've looked at the functions of the media and the different types of coverage, let's move on to our final learning objective, which is to describe the advantages and disadvantages of media coverage of sport. Advantages. Firstly, media coverage makes it easier for individual performers and clubs to attract sponsorship if they perform well, while the injection of funding into sport via the media companies has led to an increase in wages and prize money. Media attention also gives the performers the opportunity to develop their reputations, promote themselves as role models, and even achieve celebrity status. Supporters may also benefit from media involvement, as funding that comes from media companies paying for the rights to cover sporting events may be used to develop spectator facilities or stadia, leading to an improved viewing experience. Those following the action from home receive insider knowledge from expert analysis and benefit from a higher quality of broadcasting. The media has also helped to improve the overall standards of performance in sport, as a portion of media funding is allocated to improving training facilities and coaching. The better and broader coverage of sport has also raised levels of interest and awareness amongst the general population, inspiring more people to take up the sport themselves and attend live events. On the other hand, exposure of athletes through the media can lead to a lack of privacy for the performer and their family, while media scrutiny means that poor comments or behaviour can lead to fines and a loss of sponsorship. Unfortunately, it's not all positive for supporters either, as pay-per-view channels are costly, meaning many of us can't afford to follow the action. In addition, event timings may be altered to suit media interests and not the players or fans. Popular sports may suffer as people choose to watch from home, leading to reduced attendances at events, while overexposure could lead to a loss of interest amongst supporters. The media also feeds an obsession with statistics and records, which can distract from the skills of the sport. In contrast, minority or less popular sports receive a smaller share of media attention, which means that funding may be difficult to come by and participation numbers may be affected as fewer people develop an interest. Finally, media influence is so great today that sports regularly change formats to suit media needs. For example, the tie break, which was introduced to tennis to make games more exciting for viewers. Well done, you've just covered everything you need to know on topic 10.5 media. If you'd like to practice what you've learned, you can find a link to every Cambridge past paper down in the description. As always, I hope you found this lesson useful, and I'll see you in the next one.